Pea Ridge National Military Park near the town of Pea Ridge in northwest Arkansas. The battle that took place here during March 7th and 8th of 1862 gave Union forces control of Missouri and in essence set the scene for the rest of the Civil War. And it's where we begin this week's show. And then we'll take you all the way down to the southeast corner of the state, the Lakeport Plantation, which is actually the last remaining antebellum home along the Mississippi River. And then we'll close it all out with a tour of Beaver Lake here in northwest Arkansas, which boasts of having the most numbers of bald eagles. So let's begin here at Pea Ridge National Military Park. The Battle of Pea Ridge is considered to be the most decisive battle in the Civil War west of the Mississippi. Control of Missouri was a prime objective of both Union and Confederate forces during the first year of the war.
Fire! Fire!
The Confederates had more men, 16,000 troops, compared to the Union forces, which was, 10,500. And why did the battle turn out the way it did?
Well, the Confederate troops had actually started with 16,000. By the time they got here, it's probably 13,000. People falling out along the way. You can see, today it's cold and snow on the ground. Well, it was exactly the same way in 1862. So it was, a lot of people were hungry, felt on the way. So by the time they got here, they only had 13,000. The Union troops were already here. This is where their supply base was. The Confederate troops had been marching for 3 days. By the time they got here, 3 days on the road in the cold and the snow, it exhausted them. They were hungry. They, their energy is all sapped. They're no condition to fight. And so, even though their generals say, "Let's go," they attack, and did very well on the first day. Here, especially, the Confederate troops came up out of the hollow, charged right through here, right up to the Elkhorn Tavern, and when they got to the barn on the other side of the tavern, saw that it was full of food, they stopped and they ate. So because they were so hungry. So that's one reason. They continued the advance. Command post for the Union Army was another mile down the road. They would have taken it, but they were so hungry they stopped here and ate.
And this was the only battle, I guess, in military history where a general made a face about and was successful.
But successful is the key there. It's been tried before, but this is the one where it was successful, yes. Curtis's troops, for the most part, were 3 miles from here. This was the rear of the Union line right here. There was a small detachment of forces here guarding the food. And they did not expect the attack to come this way. Some of his junior officers did think something might be up, and they dropped a lot of trees along the road, slowing down Van Dorn on his way here. But he was able to...
Van Dorn was the general.
Confederate general, right, the Confederate general. And he was slowed down by dropping trees. Drop trees across the road, your cannons can't get through. Your troops have trouble getting through. So they dropped a lot of trees. And so by the time they got up to here, they had pushed through a Union artillery battery down the road. They came up to this battery right here, pushed through this battery also. And that's when they ran into the food and things kind of slowed down a little bit.
So most of the battle, most of the fighting, all took place here near Elkhorn Tavern.
Well, a lot did. And here and down about half a mile down up the wire road towards Missouri, in the field to about a half mile from to the east of us, over in Clemens Field. A lot of fighting took place there. That was Missouri State Guard troops against Iowans and Illinoisans, and they fought a set piece battle there. The Union Army retreated when it ran out of ammunition, and they moved back to where their supplies were and got more ammunition. But unfortunately for the Confederate forces, they didn't bring their extra ammunition. It was still in supply wagons miles and miles away.
Now this road that goes behind the tavern here, it had many names, Butterfield Overland Stage Route,
yes.
Telegraph Road, because the telegraph wire that
right.
Springfield, St. Louis, Missouri, all the way down
to Fort Smith, right.
And of course, section of the Trail of Tears.
Right, the land route of the northern section of the Trail of Tears. So this was primarily a Cherokee route. They came from Georgia and Tennessee, working their way through Tennessee into Missouri, coming back into Arkansas, coming right through here. And this was the last food depot for them on the Rustic farm. The Rustics had owned the Elkhorn Tavern at that time, and this was the last stop where they got their rations before they went off for Indian territory.
Pea Ridge represents what might be the most well-preserved Civil War battlefield in the United States. To get a good scope of this 4,300-acre site, taking the 7.5-mile auto tour would be well worth your time. The 10 stops along the way are designed to provide information relative to battle action and significant features in each area of the park. The lookout point atop the ridge is especially a must-stop to get an overall perspective of just how large an area the Confederates and Union forces traversed and fought during the two-day battle. Taking the hiking trail, which veers off from the lookout point, will lead you into the more natural areas of the park and into the backcountry where many of the troops made their way towards Elkhorn Tavern. Pea Ridge National Military Park is also the ideal place for school kids to learn firsthand about the Civil War.
A ball fly out the barrel, the strapping falls off, and the ball just travels by itself. And it's going to travel, this solid shot will travel 1,600 yards before it hits the ground. So this is a solid shot. Well, why do you think we'd use solid shot? Why?
Does it have all that stuff on it?
Well, no, the solid shot's good for breaking things. Like if it hits down there, it breaks your wheels. One shot. Load! Back. Fire! Ceasefire. What do you think of that? Loud, yeah. Very loud. It would have been a lot louder had it been a real gun. A real gun would have had twice the powder we just fired. We fired 10 ounces of black powder. A real charge would have 20 ounces, and this gun would have rolled backwards, and then somewhere down there, probably the trees, we'd have seen the cannonball hit. Fire! 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 Fire!
It's more fun to learn
Yeah.
being actually here than just looking in a book. And it's fun to hear the cannons go off.
Fire! Fire!
It's more cooler in person than in a textbook with just pictures, because you can actually see them go off.
Fire! Fire!
So, what was actually the largest assembly of Confederate troops west of the Mississippi turned out to be a Union victory instead. Today, Elkhorn Tavern stands as a memorial in what was a major turning point in the Civil War in the Trans-Mississippi West here at Pea Ridge. It's considered as one of Arkansas's foremost historic home sites, the Lakeport Plantation in the southeast corner of the state. It's the last remaining antebellum house alongside the Mississippi River in Arkansas that hasn't been extensively altered. Owned by Arkansas State University, this plantation home has been restored as a museum, focusing on the land's transition from slavery to tenant farming. Lakeport marks the spot of a steamboat landing from which thousands of bales of cotton were shipped downriver to New Orleans. In the early 1800s, the banks of the Mississippi River on the Arkansas side and on the Mississippi side were lined with plantations. Many of the landowners on both sides were from Kentucky, and nearly all were related to each other. The Lakeport Plantation House was built in 1859 for Lycurgus and Lydia Johnson, part of a political dynasty that extended from Virginia to Kentucky and finally to Arkansas.
Well, we think this is a real gem for Arkansas history. It's the last antebellum plantation home in Arkansas that's still in the Mississippi River, so it represents that western migration of planters west, and they're settling along the Mississippi River. But there's really nothing else like it in Arkansas. I mean, there are other homes similar to this one nearby, but they've been burned or fell in disrepair, or they're just gone now. So it's just completely unique in Arkansas.
And it faces the river, which was the norm back in the day.
Right, so it faces the river, now it faces the levee.
Yeah.
The river's nearby, but you can't quite see it. But that was the way people got to this house. They took boats up and down the river, and coming from places like Kentucky or Indiana or Missouri, they would come down the river and get off at Lakeport, or they might come across the Mississippi River where they had relatives on a packet.
In 1927, the Lakeport Plantation was sold to the Sam Epstein family. Since 1972, the house remained vacant and escaped being remodeled, redecorated, or extensively modernized, and thus remained virtually unchanged since the day it was built. It was donated to Arkansas State University in 2001 by the Epstein Angel family as a legacy for future generations. The purpose of the Lakeport Plantation Museum is to research and interpret the people and cultures that shaped plantation life throughout the Mississippi River Delta, focusing on the antebellum, Civil War, and Reconstruction periods.
We want to portray four things. We want to portray the history of the Johnson family and their western migration and the western migration of the cotton economy with that. The history of the Johnson family and their politics. They were politically important in Kentucky and Arkansas. We also want to talk about the architecture of the home, the craftsmanship of the home, the African-American heritage also, the slave labor that built this house, and the tenant farmers and sharecroppers who also worked this land and cleared this land. And also the historic preservation techniques that went into preserving this house.
Restoration of the Lakeport Plantation was completed in 2007 as an official project of the Save America's Treasure program through the National Park Service and the National Trust for Historic Preservation. With the house as a primary artifact, it provides an excellent resource for learning about unique early craftsmanship and historic building techniques. But the philosophy of the restoration team was not to recreate just another pretty house, but once again to focus the attention on the lifestyles and relationships between the people who lived and worked at Lakeport, as slaves and masters, as tenant farmers and landowners, and the pivotal role of African Americans in the agricultural development of the region and in shaping the culture that exists today. Pay a visit and experience for yourself what has been remarkably preserved here at Lakeport. Beaver Lake in northwest Arkansas, quite the popular fishing lake, and in the wintertime, quite the popular lake with eagles. Just the other day, 150 some were spotted here. That's more than on any other lake in the state. So we decided to venture out and see how many we could spot. The 28,370-acre Beaver Lake is situated between Rogers and Eureka Springs. Motoring us out onto the lake and acting as our Eagle guide on this outing is Alan Bland with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, which completed Beaver Lake in 1966. With almost 500 miles of shoreline, the recreational opportunities on Beaver Lake are endless, and during the wintertime, the numbers of bald eagles are quite impressive.
It is incredible. I love this lake, born and raised in this area. My parents had a place on the lake, and I mean, I can remember when it was the White River before Beaver Lake, and we played in the river. I remember when the lake was coming up, I didn't understand it as a youngster. So since day one, I just fell in love with the lake. It's an awesome lake for, hunting and fishing and boating and skiing, but in the wintertime, you have it to yourself if you want to come out here and enjoy the lake. And we just, I can't put my finger on it why we have so many eagles. It's a big lake. The water's clear. I don't know if that's for better fishing or our hills are so high that they get protection, but it's just incredible. And they start coming in about October. You start seeing them filtering in. January and February, I would say, are the peak months if you want to see a lot of eagles. Usually by early to mid-March, a lot of them are already headed back up north. We do have the nesting pair on the lake that you can see year-round. But people don't bother them or harass them here. They're kind of used to them. Everybody looks forward to them. And we're just blessed up here to have not only this lake, but to have all these bald eagles.
Eagle concentrations on the lake, of course, vary from day to day.
There's some areas of the lake that are on the lake where we can go to and we know there'll be some eagles. There's some areas that we don't know why, they're just not their thing to be at, but we counted this year. In one day, we counted 158 eagles in one day on the lake. That's about average, 150, 170. Depends on the day. If it's a real bluebird day, really pretty nice, we're not going to count as many birds. because they're out hunting, they're soaring, they have better visibility. On a real nasty day that you wouldn't want to get out, that's the maximum day to come out and see the eagles. They're sitting in the trees, they're looking for the fish, they're looking for the ducks, they're looking for an easy meal. The cold weather doesn't bother them at all because 80% of the population of eagles, bald eagles in America is in Alaska. So you know how cold it gets there. So a lot of people think, oh, they'll freeze to death, they're in trouble, but they do just fine. And there's just ample food here, so we just have a tremendous population.
There is one area on the lake, though, that you can pretty much bet you'll find bald eagles just about every time you venture out. And that's the area where Alan took us. It happens to be the northernmost cove of Beaver Lake, just off from the Lost Bridge North recreation area. Being only about 3.5 miles from the Missouri state line, when the bodies of water start to freeze up north of here, this is the first area eagles set their eyes on.
When the weather gets really bad and all the ponds freeze up and it's really bad up north like it is now, we get more eagles. They probably wouldn't even come down here if they didn't have to, but everything up north freezes up. All the ducks come south, so they come south because you have waters that don't freeze. You have plenty of ample, hunting opportunities, so it's really good. We're very fortunate that they get to come down. Some years we might have 90 to 130. It really varies, but we've been doing the count since 1980. And in 1980, I think we counted 26. And the most we ever counted in one day on the lake was 289. So it varies from day to day, but I'd say between 150 and 250 is what we have on the lake any given day.
Beaver Lake, Arkansas's bald eagle mecca. The only drawback, you gotta come here on the coldest, miserablest, blusteriest of days. But the rewards are well worth it. So head on out to Beaver Lake and check out the Eagle Extravaganza here. And for more on this destination and many of our others, and to view our maps or to order a copy of an episode, visit our website, aetn.org/exploring-Arkansas. And we'll see you again the next time for another exciting adventure on Exploring Arkansas.